Do you remember ever sitting down to watch one of your favorite shows and a new episode comes on and you turn it on and the characters that are the regulars of the show are in it for about 3 seconds and then it spins off to some story about some random characters you've never seen before, maybe to have one or two of the series regulars pop in and out of the show for a couple of minutes at a time, and then by the end of the episode you're wondering what the hell did you just watch, and you find out that was an attempt to launch a spin-off of an entirely another series. Well, apparently that's exactly what Disney is trying to do with Indiana Jones 5, as reports are coming out that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is actually the lead in this movie, not Harrison Ford. So this begs me to ask the question, at this point, why are they making this movie? If you want to create another character that's kind of still in the Indiana Jones universe, but not Indy himself, why not just call it something else and have Harrison Ford maybe appear in it briefly to kind of pass the torch or introduce the character? Why call it an Indiana Jones movie if that's not what you're giving us? So this report says that Phoebe Waller-Bridge could take over as lead from Harrison Ford, and the report says, close to the British newspaper said it would be a huge statement and a great role for Phoebe, while another ad of the gossip on the set is that the character is actually slot into the leading role. So how is this an Indiana Jones movie? Now, think what you want of the Crystal Skull, which obviously I don't think anybody would disagree is the weakest of the Indiana Jones series. But I mean, at least where you left Indiana Jones at the end of that movie, he was still viable, he was still happy, he was married, he was still carrying on. You know, you left the theater, if that was going to be the last chapter of Indiana Jones, figuring he has his happy ending. He still had adventures to lead, we just maybe don't get to see them. But now it looks like we're going to have to watch a movie in which Indy is relegated to a supporting role or side character in his own story. I mean, is it just me? I don't know that I have any interest in seeing this movie at all after these reports. I mean, it gives me no confidence at all that Kathleen Kennedy is set to make this bold announcement here very soon. And I don't have a lot of faith in Kathleen Kennedy as a producer or as a studio head, especially after, the debacle that was the Star Wars movies. Now, I'm not a major, complete and utter hater of the sequel trilogy. I don't like them much. I do think a couple of the movies have redeeming qualities. I definitely think they could have been done a lot better. But looking at Indiana Jones 5, I'm seeing a long list of writers, and that is not a good sign. Now, I see that James Mangold is directing it, and James Mangold has seriously quality, good resume of movies to his credit. I mean, we've got Ford versus Ferrari and Logan, Walk the Line. These are all great films, but I do know that James Mangold is also a producer and heavily involved in the creative process. He's not listed as a producer on this movie. He is listed here on the screenplay, so he's had some input. But I don't know. I don't know that a good director is enough to save something like this. And it begs me to kind of sit back and ask the question of just why? Is this a story that needs to be told? I mean, do we really, as the fans, need to sit and watch Indiana Jones, a character that we've pretty much grown up with and loved all our lives as a screen hero? Do we really need to see him just kind of denigrated and demoted to second fiddle in his own story to Phoebe Waller-Bridge? And we don't know who Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character is, obviously. I mean, she could be playing a daughter of Indiana Jones. She could be playing a colleague. We really don't know. I don't know her from a lot of things. I know she writes a bit more than she acts, but that doesn't mean she's not a competent actress at all. But at the same time, again, I'm back to the question of why. Why is this movie being made? If you want to launch a new franchise, launch a new franchise. I remember when I saw the Creed movies. While I didn't care for the Creed movies all that much, I did think that it was a good way to integrate a new character into the Rocky Balboa universe, still have Rocky be a part of it, but you could tell by the title alone that this isn't Rocky's story. Rocky's now just a part. His story has been told, and it was told very well, and it ended very well with the final Rocky movie. And then we were able to get the character to come back for 6 as kind of the mentor as Mickey. And that would be, I don't know that a lot of people would have a problem with that if they created a new character, a new movie franchise, and you have Indiana Jones kind of there a little bit to give her send-off, to get her started, give her that, that push along the way. But to actually make an Indiana Jones movie, relegate him to a background character just to feature Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I don't see audiences responding well to this. I have never known people to really respond to this well in the past, so I don't see how this is a good way to start a movie franchise. So anyway, that's just me. I saw this headline and I figured we could talk about it. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Were you excited at all about Indiana Jones 5, or were you like me and had reservations from the beginning? Are you still going to see the movie, or were you ever planning on seeing it? Are you still excited about it? What do you think is Phoebe Waller-Bridge as the heir apparent to Indiana Jones? Let me know in the comments below what you think. And while you're down there, please hit like, subscribe, help the channel grow. We've grown a lot in the last couple months. I really appreciate it. And thanks for sticking with me through this little kind of rant that I had to go on this morning. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye.